Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So, before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So, as people start to come into the room, you guys know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share the video out. Also, take a moment. If you're not subscribed to my backup channels, go ahead, take care of that. Hit the bell icon twice on all of them. All right. And let's review some news. All right. So, we're going to be talking about two ladies today, a black one and a white one. And both of them got into car accidents. But it's very interesting how the media is treating both cases. Now, the white woman, her name, if I'm not mistaken, is Heche. If that's how you pronounce it, I may be pronouncing it wrong. At one point, I guess she was in a relationship with Ellen DeGeneres, that whole thing. She got into a car accident. Details didn't come out about it at first, but details have recently surfaced. All right. But this is the most recent that I've heard about it. She's not expected to survive. And she's not expected to survive because she had a brain injury in this most recent accident. All right. So, what it seems like they're going to be doing is it seems like they're going to take her off of life support, which is interesting. It's interesting because there's some more information about this that we'll be going into, and I'll let you guys decide. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. We about to do some more news, reviews, and reactions. All right. So shouts out to my man Carlton Way in the building. You guys know what it is. Ain't no way like the Carlton Way. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this. Heche, not expected to survive after severe brain injury. She will be taken off life support. All right. So that's her. Heche's family and friends had been hoping for a miracle following the Emmy Award actor's horrific car accident last Friday. Now, I'm curious, how many people have heard about this? How many people have been following this story? If you guys have heard about this or been following this story, let me know in the comment section. Give me some feedback. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. All right. Also, just so you guys don't know, if you're not subscribed to Just Talking with TD and Rob, we got some new clips from the live stream going on today, starting at 9 o'clock. So make sure if you're not subscribed to that channel, that you go ahead on over there and hit the bell and don't miss those clips. And also make sure that you hit the bell for the next live stream so that you don't miss it. All right. Shouts out to my man KO Kid Fit. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is about to be doing a reaction video pretty soon to Miss Courtney Clenny. You know what I'm saying? Ronda Lousy over there with them strikes. You know what I'm saying? She was in that elevator putting in work on the back of Christopher O'Bumsley's head, the late Christopher O'Bumsley. You know what I'm saying? I want to say. But I try to warn people about these sex workers, man. For one, they work out to maintain the body. They do a lot of squats so that they get that ass and those thick thighs. You know what I'm saying? They people don't know about this, and my man KO Kid Fit is a personal trainer, you know what I'm saying, and a fighter, which is one of the reasons why y'all need to go check out his Grind and Motivate channel and check out his KO Kid Fit channel. And you can do that by clicking the link that he about to put in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? But he can verify this. When you do squats, it increases your free testosterone. So these ladies that got these thick, muscular thighs, man, they look nice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you something. They'll kick your ass. Literally. They will kick your ass like they at the FIFA. You know what I'm saying? And your ass is the soccer ball. You know what I mean? You can see she was in the elevator teeing off on Chris, because everybody hates Chris. You know what I'm saying? And she had that alcohol energy. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with a alcoholic, but they just get mean. Man, they get mean as a damn pit bull. They get mean as a pit bull, and they face start looking like that dude's picture that I just posted on my community wall on Blacklight Revelations, the pug face degenerate. So you guys should go over there and check out the pug face degenerate. Yeah, they can crush watermelons with ease with their legs. So imagine what they do to your head. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what they do to your head, Sometimes the mind wanders, and you know how guys are. You know what I'm saying? You know how us dudes are, but some of that shit that you like can kill you. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe I'm a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, you know what I'm saying? You got to think with the head that's above your waist. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, when you have sex, that increases your hormones too. That gives you increased endorphins. So if you're dealing with women that are thotting it up out here, you know what I'm saying? Not only do they have the free testosterone from doing all the squats and getting hit doggy style, they got all that free endorphin and all that stuff from getting piped all night long and increased cardio. So they don't get tired. They got strength and endurance. You might be in for a ride, and not the kind that you might enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm me personally, I don't be out here trying to fight people, man. Women or men, they crazy. You know what I'm saying? One of these yoga women and be them jumped up on you like one of them damn aliens. Those xenomorphs have wrapped their legs around your head and twisted your neck all kind of ways. And next thing you know, you're dead. You a news story. What happened? Killed by black belt yoga instructor. Like, yeah, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it didn't come, and her closest ones are making the difficult decision to take her off life support after she was pronounced brain dead. Now, at least she's pronounced brain dead after a car accident. There's a lot of people in the United States, especially, who are just brain dead, and they're not going to be taken off life support because they're not on life support because they're brain dead, yet they don't think that they're brain dead. So, you know what I'm saying? There's that. Yeah, and see, Carlton says, I've seen more in shape women than men. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these kind of women, they be having these nice bodies and, you know what I'm saying, chiseled abs and shit like that. They be with dudes that's just kind of sloppy. They'll fuck around and whoop the dude's ass. And women already have a lot of hormones circulating that allow them to be able to get pregnant and stuff like that. So when they start working out, like, they get really strong. You know what I'm saying? In nature, females are usually stronger than the men, the males. You know what I'm saying? And they also, a lot of times, kill the males. So, it's not always good to compare nature to civilization, but sometimes it is. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says she's being kept on a ventilator until it's determined whether any organs not damaged in the crash are subsequent fire can be donated. We want to thank everyone for their kind wishes and prayers for Anne's recovery, and thank the dedicated staff and wonderful nurses that cared for Anne at the Grossman Burn Center at West Hills Hospital. All right. So remember, she got burnt up. And if you guys watch this video, I don't know how long this is going to take, but we're going to get to a part where you're going to see not her accident, not Anne's accident, but another accident where the car just burns up. Like, it's insane. You know what I'm saying? So now, unfortunately, due to her accident, Anne Heche suffered a severe anoxic brain injury and remains in coma in a critical condition. She is not expected to survive, a rep for Heche's family and friends told Dateline. Now, what I find fascinating is that there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been mentioned yet. And as we go through these articles, what you're going to see is some other things come out. And then you're going to ask yourself, well, damn, they're not really talking about that. Why aren't they saying anything about that? Now, you see this related story. Richard. Anne Heche had narcotics in her system, police say, according to tests conducted after fiery car crash. Apparently, she was doing some nose candy. You know what I'm saying? They said it was cocaine. It's long been her choice to donate her organs, and she is being kept on life support to determine if any are viable. Anne had a huge heart. Well, that sounds like one organ that could be donated. You know what I'm saying? The heart. And touched everyone she met with her generous spirit. More than her extraordinary talent, she saw spreading kindness and joy as her life's work, especially moving the needle for acceptance of who you love. She will be remembered for her courageous honesty and dearly missed for her light. Yeah, she lit that car accident up for sure. You know what I'm saying? They said it was a blaze, a literal blaze of glory. Shout out to my man AB Promotions in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, drop some radiation emojis for my man AB Promotion for the Cash App that he sent. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate that. You guys know what that does. You guys see we trying to expand and do some more things with the platforms. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely AB Promotions is a part of that. Appreciate the Cash App, you know what I'm saying? So drop some radiation emojis from a man down there. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says there are plans for Heche to get Honor Walk, a hero's goodbye. Donor patients received by the hospital staff as they are wheeled into the operating room for their final journey. Now, this is interesting, right? Pay very close attention how this is being upplayed because of the organ donation. All right. Heche had been hospitalized since Friday, August 5th, when she crashed her car into a Mar Vista house and ignited it. The wife's owner and her pet, the house owner and her pet were able to evacuate. So she was high, all right, when she was driving, and she crashed her car into a house. Now, pay very close attention how the article is not chastising her. Question, ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to my man DJ Elmo. Why aren't they doing that? See that? 59 firefighters battled the blaze, which had engulfed both Heche's car and the house for 65 minutes until she could be safely pulled out of the wreckage. Heche was reportedly able to communicate at the time of her rescue, but lost consciousness shortly thereafter and never regained it. She's been in a coma ever since. All right. On Monday, August 8th, Heche was described as being in extreme critical condition. She has a significant pulmonary injury requiring mechanical ventilation and burns that require surgical intervention, a rep for the actor said at the time. There had been lots of speculation about Heche's condition before the crash, as she was filmed driving erratically and speeding in the minutes prior to the accident, including getting into another minor accident blocks from the crash sites. A blood test was performed after Heche was taken to the hospital. Now, notice how they don't say anything about it. Based on the blood work, it revealed the presence of narcotics. Officer Elizabeth Lomelli of LAPD told Dateline on Wednesday, August 11th. All right, so there it is. Now, I just want you guys to notice how they're talking about this. There you go. Shouts out to Carlton. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree with what Carlton is saying, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you guys disagree with what Carlton is saying, give me a thumbs down and let me know why you disagree. But if you want to know me personally, like I always tell y'all, it ain't no way like the Carlton way. So, you know, there's that. Heche had recently wrapped filming Lifetime movie Girl in Room 13, which explores the dark underworld of the $150 billion human trafficking industry. Amy Winter, executive VP and head of programming for Lifetime Network, addressed Heche's accident Thursday during a panel for the film at the Television Critics Association virtual press tour. Winter said the film was still scheduled to premiere in September as planned. Now, I find this fascinating, right? They're still going to air the film after she caused this car accident and ran her car through somebody's house, and it comes out that she was high. Now, in many cases, that would be grounds for cancellation. You guys agree? In many cases, this right here would be grounds for cancellation, but it's not in this case. Question, why? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got the 1-to-1 ratio popping off. So everybody drop themselves some radiation emojis. That's what's up. We got 5 live viewers and we got 5 likes. So if everybody smash that like button and get us to 10, we'd be on our way. Remember, we got that goal of 100. So let's get there. So now here it says, this project is important to Anne, along with each and every one of us, Winter said. We all sought to make a film that would bring attention to this appalling issue of human trafficking. We hope this film reached you and that you are just as inspired as Anne was to help us with our mission and stop violence against these women. So there's that. All right. Not too much mention of the narcotics, how high she was while she was driving, causing the car accident. You know what I'm saying? Is one of the reasons why we got to do these news reviews, because when we get to Nicole Linton, you'll see that they show her story in a very different light, because she's also guilty of a car accident. Now, in her car accident, she happened to kill some people, but it was a car accident nonetheless. but you're going to want to pay very close attention to how she's talked about versus how Ann is talked about. And at the end of this news review, we're going to ask, do you think that these were covered equally? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my man Emmanuel Carey. What up with it, Emmanuel? What's good, bro? So now here's another article. Now remember, they said that she was going to be taken off life support, right? So she's not going to get charged with anything because more than likely, once they pull the plug on the vent and on the feed tube, if she's on that and the IVs, she's more than likely going to pass away, right? But if she were to make a recovery, then she would get charged with hit and run. And this is an article that came earlier when it wasn't confirmed if she was intoxicated at the time of the crash. Okay. So now they're not even talking about her in the most recent articles as if she had criminal charges pending. But as you can see, had she not been on life support currently, she'd be in trouble. She'd be in trouble. Ann Heche will be charged with hit and run if she was intoxicated at the time of the fiery crash, all right? LAPD revealed that Ann will face charges if found to be intoxicated after an investigation into the terrifying accident. Ann Heche will be charged with a misdemeanor, if her blood results show that she was intoxicated following an investigation into the scary car crash on Friday, August 5th. Now, here's my question. Why only a misdemeanor? It was also a hit and run. Hell yeah. Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. 10K subs by the end of the year, putting that out into the atmosphere. Facts. 10K subs by the end of the year, putting that out in the atmosphere. Leave it up to me. Will I be living proof? No, I'm just playing. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. 10K subs by the end of the year. Let's get it. We can do it. We can do it. We can definitely do it. Misdemeanor. Yeah, but the thing is, she ain't making it to trial. What up with it, Cameron? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Cameron, man. Patreon member, you know what I'm saying? Drop some radiation emojis because Patreon definitely helps anybody that's interested in Patreon. The link is pinned in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says an LAPD officer told Hollywood Life that an investigation into the driver and crash was still underway. Today we got an update that there's going to be an investigation pending a blood result. If it shows that the driver was intoxicated, they will be charged with misdemeanor hit and run. So now if the driver was not intoxicated, she wouldn't be charged with anything? Group Home, living proof quote. Yeah, but Group Home took that quote from Inspector Deck from Cash Rules Everything Around Me. Kareem, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. But still, though, shouts out to Group Home because Group Home was dope. Underrated MCs, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the case will be presented to the city's district attorney office, the LAPD officer said. Though the LAPD official could not confirm this to be Ann Heche, HollywoodLife.com has independently confirmed that the driver in this case is in fact Ann. All right. So now let's listen to this and see what this is talking about here.
Ann Heche's hit and run investigation.
See, this is what I'm talking about. So how was I supposed to know that this is Ann Heche? See, I'm Ann Heche, nigga. All right, Ann Heche. All right, so I'm gonna try to remember to say it right from here on out. Ann Heche.
Ann Heche's hit and run investigation continues. The LAPD confirms to ET they were investigating the actress for being under the influence when she was speeding down the street and crashed her car into a nearby home.
Vehicle into a structure. We also have a structure fire, 2-story, single-family dwelling, heavy smoke showing. Keep everybody coming.
The LAPD told ET they...
Yeah, DJ Elmo, because he was like, I kicked the truth to the young black youth. Shorty running wild, smoking cess, drinking beer, and ain't trying to hear what I'm kicking in his ear. Man, Into the 36 Chambers that album should be solidified in gold.
obtained a warrant to draw Ann's blood at the scene, and the results are in. Authorities confirmed to ET narcotics were found in Ann's system at the time of the near-fatal car wreck. Anne Heche is now being investigated.
Richard, did y'all hear that? I told you she was high. I get high, high, high. Every day I get high, high, high. All the time I get high, 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 high. I put the crack pipe right in my mouth, blaze it up. Then I crash into a house.
The near-fatal car wreck. Anne Heche is now being investigated for felony traffic DUI.
Anne Heche is facing a multitude of charges. Assuming that the toxicology reports would come back in her favor, I still think she's facing at least a hit-and-run charge and a reckless charge.
Since narcotics can include both cocaine and fentanyl, investigators say additional testing is required to rule out additional substances administered at the hospital. Anne remains in extreme critical condition after driving her Mini Cooper.
Man, she was riding that bad boy like Michael Knight and Kit. she was riding that motherfucker like Michael Knight and Kit. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. New, 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 doo-doo. New, 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 doo-doo. Oh, man. White Rider. White Rider, a shadowy figure driving into a house in flames, high as hell on cocaine.
Cooper at an extremely high speed into a home, which ignited a fire that left her with severe burns.
Damn!
They're going to remove the body from the burning vehicle and possibly transport the victim to a hospital.
Earlier this week, her rep told ET she's in a coma and has not regained consciousness. While Anne remains hospitalized, ET is learning more about the projects she filmed prior to the wreck.
We're just praying for her recovery.
Anne's Girl in the Room 13 director Elizabeth Rome is sending her well wishes. Before the crash, the actress was working on the Passion Project, which addresses human sex trafficking. At a TCA panel discussion for the film, Lifetime exec Amy Winter addressed Anne's condition and recalled her performance being so painful and so riveting, something her colleagues reiterated.
I know all of us.
Okay, like I'm sure Anne is a talented actress, and I'm sure the performance was painful and riveting. But I bet you it wasn't more painful and riveting than that car accident, though. And that car accident could have been prevented in most cases had she not been under the influence while she was driving. But pay very close attention to how the news does not talk about that. Pay very close attention. Nah, she ain't going to no damn rehab. Next place she going is to the coroner's office because they about to take her off of life support. Yeah, that Knight Rider beat do go hard. That Busta Rhymes, I think, remixed it the best. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she was high. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she was high. She liked that nose candy. You know what I'm saying? They say that KO Kid Finch, you call that White Rider. White Rider. We need to get hook them up with Fresh and Fit. You know what I'm saying? You know, Myron Lames said that he doesn't like the Night Riders. You know what I'm saying? So go get you a White Rider. You know what I'm saying? They either beat your ass in the elevator or drive you burning in a car like the Human Torch through somebody's front door and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know.
At Lifetime, myself, Larissa, everybody is devastated. We
she's on life
praying
support
for her and the victims of this horrible tragedy. And I know that Anne really, really was passionate about this film. She gave it everything that she had. She brought a phenomenal performance and force to this project. And she was really committed to stopping violence against women.
Lifetime confirms Anne's health status will not affect production since the movie is already finished. It's set to air in September.
Now, notice how, like, there's no mass wave of cancellation. Oh, she was high and she was on drugs and, she was, she's supposed to be being this example or whatever. And she was high as hell and crashed into these people and her poor behavior. None of that. None of that. Just pay very close attention. Now, just pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the official also confirmed that one person involved in the crash in the Mar Vista area was also taken to the hospital after the crash on Friday morning. The vehicle hit a house and was also involved in a hit and run, which detectives determined later that day during their investigation. One person was transported by LAFD to a local hospital, they said. After the crash, it was reported that Anne, who is 53, was taken to the hospital. The I Know What You Did Last Summer star rep. I didn't know she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. She was in I Know What You Did Last Summer? Who the hell she play? Asked fans to keep the actress in their prayers in a statement to People. Anne is currently in stable condition, they said. Her family and friends ask for your thoughts and prayers and to respect her privacy during this difficult time. Following the crash, two of Anne's exes made public shows, or two of Anne's exes, I'm sorry, I thought that shit said execs. Two of Anne's exes made public shows of support for her. Her ex, James Tupper, who she dated for 12 years, shared a photo of her with their teenage son, Atlas, with a loving message for her. Thoughts and prayers for this lovely woman. Actress and mother tonight, he wrote with a broken heart emoji. We love you. Thomas Lane also called for thoughts and prayers for his ex. And Ellen didn't say nothing? Ellen DeGeneres didn't say anything about her? Interesting. Very interesting. Tupperware, right. A multi-billion-dollar container business. You know what I'm saying? So now, here it is. This is what we've been looking for. This is what we was talking about. Anne Heche charged after fiery car crash in LA home. Let's just break this down. How do you crash into a damn home? How does that happen? Anybody know? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 live viewers. Shout out and thank you to all 8 people that are watching. And we got 7 likes. If everybody can take a moment and smash that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and make sure that you hit that bell icon twice and subscribe to the channel. But if she wasn't going to be pulled off of life support, she would be charged. Okay, yeah, that house came out of nowhere. They need to put their turn signals on next time. The hell? Put the porch light on next time you plan on driving the house at night. Okay. My bad. Police in Los Angeles obtained a warrant Friday to draw blood from Anne Heche after she crashed a car into a residential home, authorities said. These people driving these damn houses nowadays. You know what I'm saying? No, you're supposed to stay in the house lane when you driving the house down the damn street now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lane for everybody. They got the lane for the buses and public transportation. They got the lane for people that walk. They got the lane for bicycles. Motorcycles supposed to stay on a certain side of the street. These people in these damn houses just getting out of control. They don't mess around and change the requirements. Houses causing all kind of damn car accidents. That's just like parked cars. They the first offenders. Parked cars be involved in so many damn car accidents. Make it illegal. You can't park your car. Too damn dangerous. Look at that. I mean, she really wrecked the damn car. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Let's watch this real quick before we get into this article. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. She wrecked this car so damn bad. This looked like a fossil of a car. We dug this car up and we've named this car Fordosaurus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was around during the Jurassic period. Like, damn. I'm saying that motherfucker looked like it was buried in Antarctica next to a woolly bear mammoth. The hell she do to women know how to mess up some damn cars. Sheesh. They do shit to car. I mean, how did you do that? The car be all twisted and contorted and turned it into a convertible. Looked like it got in a fight with a transformer and shit. Like, how do y'all do that?
A high-speed ride ending in a fiery crash. The driver, actress Anne Heche, hospitalized with serious burns. Video obtained by TMZ shows the harrowing lead-up, what appears to be Heche's blue Mini Cooper first crashing into a garage in Los Angeles, reversing and speeding away. A witness captured what looks like Heche's blue car flying down residential streets. A short time later, she crashed into a home.
Vehicle into a building, 2-story, single.
May I politely ask, what the hell was she doing? Did y'all see that? She tried to get into the garage, but forgot to put the door up, and then sped away. And then just poof.
A high-speed ride ending in a fiery crash. The driver, actress Anne Heche, hospitalized with serious burns. Video obtained by TMZ shows the harrowing lead-up, what appears to be Heche's blue Mini Cooper first crashing into a garage in Los Angeles, reversing and speeding away. A witness captured what looks like Heche's blue car flying down residential streets.
Damn. I mean, where was you going and what were you doing? Seriously, like what the hell was going on right there? Monkeypox. You know what I'm saying?
Short time later, she crashed into a home.
Vehicle into a building, 2-story, single-family building with heavy smoke showing.
Plowing straight through it and sparking a blaze that quickly engulfed the property.
And I could see a big hole in the house. I mean, it was all the way through the front room and into the back.
Neighbors came running to find Heche in the
flying.
car.
We were just thinking, by now, there's just no way she could still be alive.
The fire department pried Heche from a smoldering car and took her to a local hospital. Her spokesperson saying in a statement to NBC News on Saturday, Anne is currently in stable condition. Her family and friends ask for your thoughts and prayers and to respect her privacy during this difficult time. The LAPD saying that a traffic collision investigation is ongoing. It's not the first time Heche has been in the spotlight for seemingly erratic behavior. The actress gained fame for her role in the soap opera Another World and in popular films in the 1990s. At the same time, her relationship with Ellen DeGeneres brought intense attention. She made headlines after they broke up in 2000 for a bizarre incident when she wandered through the desert outside Fresno, California, then knocked on a stranger's door and entered their home.
So Anne been wild. I didn't know that. If you guys knew that Anne was wilding out like this, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you guys didn't know Anne was wilding out like this, give me a thumbs down. Shit, I should have. This should be Bad Girls Gone Worse episode 4. I put this on the wrong channel and in the wrong playlist.
She later said she'd taken ecstasy before the drop-in.
What the hell?
Now celebrities like Alec Baldwin sharing.
This motherfucker Alec Baldwin out here shooting people and shit. I'm gonna shoot my stunt man. So it seems like she has a history, you know what I'm saying, of doing these, you know, drugs and having this risque, as they like to say, behavior. But what I find fascinating is the way that the news is reporting it. They're not reporting it associated with the car accident. You guys notice that? They're reporting this as if these are isolated events and unrelated. Now, here's my question. Why do you guys think that the reporting is taking that particular kind of angle? I didn't know who she was either, but I did watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't know she was in it though. I had no idea that she was in that movie.
drop-in. Now celebrities like Alec Baldwin sharing support on Instagram.
I hope everything is okay. I hope you come through this.
Others on social media criticizing Heche's reckless driving, but mainly relief that no one else was hurt.
An LAPD spokesperson tells NBC News they're looking into misdemeanor hit-and-run incidents leading up to the crash.
How is that a misdemeanor? That's wild. And what about the drug charges? I don't think that cocaine is legal. So whatever they found in the toxicology, wouldn't it make sense to charge her for that as well? What do you guys think?
Meanwhile, the tenant of the home Heche crashed into is okay. Neighbors say so are her dogs. And one neighbor even started a GoFundMe page to help her. Chanel, back to you.
All right.
You got to make sure that them dogs are okay. You know what I'm saying? Got to make sure that the dogs are okay. Police in Los Angeles obtained a warrant on Friday to draw blood from Anne Heche days after she crashed a car into a residential home, authorities said. Now, what I find fascinating is when you do further investigation on this situation, she had done more than that. There was the whole incident that she had with the garage, and then there was also a hit and run earlier. Alec Baldwin needs to disappear. Yeah, facts. Poof, be gone. Heche, 53, could face a misdemeanor DUI and hit and run charges if it is determined she was under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Any findings on the case would be presented to the city attorney's office. The actor was hospitalized in stable condition after the incident in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Mar Vista shortly before 11 a.m. on August 5th. Now, what I want you guys to do is, how many people in here are subscribed to Crimecast? If you're subscribed to Crimecast, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you're not subscribed to Crimecast, give me a thumbs down, okay? If there's a moderator in here that could put the link to the Paul Pelosi video in here in this chat, that would be great if somebody could do that. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to look at the Paul Pelosi situation and then look at this situation, and then we're going to compare this situation and the Paul Pelosi situation to this next situation once we get through all of this and stuff, okay? So we're going to be going through a bunch of these articles. But what I want you guys to pay attention to is that these are car accidents where there was property and people damaged, okay? So now here it says the extent of her injuries was not immediately known, but the Los Angeles Fire Department reported a heavy fire engulfed the car and home with stubborn flames that took almost 60 firefighters over an hour to extinguish. Photographs from the scene in the aftermath of the crash show Heche's blue Mini Cooper significantly burned and the front of the home destroyed. No other injuries were reported, and Heche was driving alone, fire officials say. In the wake of the crash, the Los Angeles Police Department said an investigation was ongoing and that they were reviewing a possible incident of a misdemeanor hit and run prior to the fiery wreck. A department spokesperson also said the patient would be subject to a blood draw, which is done to determine if a driver may have been under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Actor Thomas Jane, ex-boyfriend of Heche, said she was intubated following the crash, but was expected to pull through. So now we see that these expectations have been decreased. That's not happening. She's not pulling through. They're going to pull the plug is what's going to happen. Okay. So now here it says, while Anne and I are no longer an item, today's tragic news was devastating to me and all who love her. My heart goes out to Anne and her two sons, Jane said in a statement. My thoughts and prayers are with Anne, one of the true talents of her generation. Thank God no one else was hurt. Other Hollywood celebrities have come out in support of Heche, who starred in the films 6 Days, 7 Nights, Wag the Dog, and Donnie Brasco, and won a Daytime Emmy in 1991 for her role in the NBC soap opera Another World. I'm sorry that you had this tragic thing happen to you, and I'm sending you all my love, okay? Alec Baldwin, who appeared with Heche in the 1996 movie The Juror, said in an Instagram video. Another ex-boyfriend of Heche, actor James Tupper, shared a photograph on Instagram of her and their 13-year-old son, Atlas. Thoughts and prayers for this lovely woman. actress and mother tonight. So she's a lovely woman, actress and mother, not a criminal, not a junkie. Wrote Tupper, who met Heche on the set of the television series Men in Trees. Now, another thing that they're not saying is they're not talking about how this woman has mental issues. You guys notice that? If you guys notice that, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Clearly, there were mental issues there. But notice how they're not focusing on those. Roseanne Arquette tweeted that she has compassion for Heche's situation, but also wrote that it is clearly not okay to put lives in danger. So far, this Roseanne Arquette is the only person that's criticized her. Heche's status gained prominence while she was dating comedian Ellen DeGeneres from 1997 to 2000. When their relationship ended, Heche was hospitalized after she was found wandering in a rural area of Fresno County, California, acting disoriented and confused, authorities said. Heche described her struggles with her mental health in a 2001 memoir, Call Me Crazy. I wanted to beat everybody else to the punch, she said about the book in an interview that year with Larry King. I certainly know what's been written about me in the press. Although I was never diagnosed as being crazy, I went crazy. So, I mean, there you go right there. What does that mean? I was never diagnosed with being crazy. I went crazy. So is this crazy thing like LGBTQ, like I just identify as crazy? Because what you see is that whole quote crazy thing, that's what a lot of people are using when they try to get out of their criminal acts, their crimes. So now my question is, how is that okay? How is that consistent? Does that make any sense? Nah, you know, I'm at the moment I was crazy. I'm okay now, but I was crazy. Really? So now here it says, Heche also wrote about her relationship with DeGeneres in 2020. She said it was groundbreaking as a high-profile same-sex romance. I mean, my thing is that when it comes to the whole same-sex thing, if you want to be treated equal, then you shouldn't get, a whole entire cheerleading routine for when you decide to date. I mean, just date whoever it is that you're dating and go on about your business. Like, nobody celebrates heterosexual relationships, so why do non-heterosexual relationships need to be celebrated? If it's equal, then it's equal. Do your thing and shut up. You know what I'm saying? My story is a story that created change in the world. Move the needle for equal rights forward. Again, how do LGBTQ people not have equal rights? Can someone explain that to me? What's not equal about LGBTQ? I don't understand the whole equal rights thing. Like, this is a rich, affluent white woman. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's not equal is that you're not getting talked about like trash for being high and driving through a house. What else isn't equal? So now here it says, my story is a story that created change in the world. I think that's a little bit grandiose. Move the needle for equal rights forward. When I fell in love with Ellen DeGeneres, she said in a taped segment that year for the show, Dancing with the Stars, in which she competed. Heche most recently had a recurring role in the CBS legal drama All Rise. She also hosts a podcast with public relations guru Heather Duffy called Better Together, in which they celebrate friendship. And we believe that we can create more joy in the world by sharing our stories, stumbles, and triumphs. So again, what people need to pay attention to, remember, this is a news review, right? And what we're doing is we're reviewing how the news is framing these stories. So how they're framing this story is that this woman is a hero. This woman is a pioneer. This woman is a great actor. You see, they got all the positive reinforcement there, and they had one person that maybe had a critical opinion of her, right? Now, my question is, if it wasn't Anne Heche that was involved in this situation, how would the news frame this particular situation? Cameron says that this is a puff piece. Carlton says if that was Angela Bassett, they would be calling her all kinds of disrespectful stuff. It's on the channel called Crimecast. And I think it's called Uncle Paulie or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys agree with Cameron and Carlton that this is a puff piece and that if this was Angela Bassett, they would treat this a completely different way? And I'm glad you mentioned Angela Bassett. And you'll see why after we get through these next couple articles.
A doorbell camera caught actress Anne Heche's speeding car moments before it crashed into a Los Angeles home. It took firefighters more than an hour to extinguish the fiery crash and rescue the 53-year-old. She is in critical condition. Heche's manager, Michael McConnell, told USA Today, quote, she has a significant pulmonary injury requiring mechanical ventilation and burns that require surgical intervention. She is in a coma and has not regained consciousness since shortly after the accident. Police are working to determine if drugs and or alcohol played a role.
So now we know they did. We know that they did. All right, so let's see what USA Today says. After suffering a severe anoxic brain injury as a result of a car crash last week, Anne Heche is not expected to survive, according to a statement received Thursday by USA Today from Heche's publicist. Now, remember, her ex-boyfriend said that when he was at the ICU, they said she was, quote, expected to survive. Now, pulmonary is your heart and lungs. Pulmonary is your heart and lungs. Now, as far as anoxic brain injury goes, whatever it was that caused the pulmonary injury may have stopped some type of circulatory activity going to her brain. That's why it's called anoxic, because that means no oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Maya Wolves. What up with it, Maya? So now here it says the 53-year-old actress remains in coma in critical condition. It has long been her choice to donate her organs, and she is being kept on life support to determine if any are viable, the statement reads. So now, again, what you're going to see here is that they continue to harp on the fact that she plans on donating her organs. Notice how they're not concentrating on the history of drug use and the history of mental issues and impulsive behavior. The statement thanks the dedicated staff and wonderful nurses that cared for Anne at Grossman Burn Center at West Hills Hospital in Los Angeles. Anne had a huge heart and touched everyone she met with her generous spirit, the statement continues. More than her extraordinary talent, she saw spreading kindness and joy as her life's work, especially moving the needle for acceptance of who you love. All right, so pay very close attention to that. Again, what we're doing is we've got nothing but wonderful things to say. But they claim that there's no news bias. And also that it's only fake when the news is negative news about Trump. There's no news bias, and it's only fake news when it's negative news about Trump. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 live viewers and we got 7 likes. If everybody can take a moment and smash that like button and get us to 15, that'd be awesome. We'd be only 85 away from our goal. So smash that like button. If you guys haven't shared the video out, please make sure you guys share the video out. She will be remembered for her courageous honesty and dearly missed for her light, the statement adds. Won't be remembered for being psycho and won't be remembered for driving a car at an ungodly speed through an inanimate object. Police said earlier Thursday that they were investigating Heche for driving under the influence of drugs when she crashed into a Los Angeles house that left her with critical injuries. Detectives with a search warrant took a sample of Heche's blood and found narcotics in her system. All right, so they found narcotics in her system. LAPD spokesman Officer Jeff Lee said, now it's not narcotics like she was post-surgery or she had a chronic pain injury, you know what I'm saying, and she was taking some pain medicine. It's not like that. what they found was cocaine. So, somebody will be like, oh, she might have had a bad back and she's been suffering with a bad back since she was a child. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't the issue. It wasn't a medical issue. These weren't medical narcotics. These were not medical narcotics. They were party drugs. Okay. So we're going to call it what it is. They were party drugs. But toxicology tests, which can take weeks to complete, must be performed to identify drugs more clearly and to differentiate them from any medication she may have been given for treatment at the hospital, where she remained Thursday, 6 days after the crash. See? This latest development came after Officer Ann Hernandez told USA Today Monday that a warrant to do a toxicology blood test on Heche was issued Friday by LAPD. Police said Thursday that they were still gathering evidence from the crash and would present a case to prosecutors if it is warranted when the investigation is complete. A representative for Heche declined to comment to the Associated Press on the investigation. On August 5th, Heche's car smashed into a house in the Mar Vista area of Los Angeles. Flames erupted and Heche, who was alone in the car, was pulled out by firefighters from the vehicle embedded in the house. No one inside of the house was injured. So, as you guys, we already noticed, Ann Heche is in coma, extreme critical condition following the crash. Okay. So now, I don't know how much more we need to read about Ann Heche, right? I think we got it. I think we got the idea. She's an actress. You know what I'm saying? She got high. She drove into a house. She has a history of wild behavior, per se, right? How many more ways can you talk about that? So I think we got a good understanding of that. Shouts out to Volvo. What up with it? So now what we're going to do is now we're going to talk about a woman named, I think her name is Nicole Linton. How many people have heard of Nicole Linton? If you guys have heard of Nicole Linton, give me a thumbs up in the comment section and give me some info. How many people have heard of Nicole Linton? You may not have heard of Nicole Linton, but I'm sure you heard about this. Houston nurse in LA crash that killed 5 is charged with murder. Now, what do you notice immediately? Now, in Ann's defense, Ann didn't kill anybody. However, Nicole Linton's reckless driving did kill people. I'm going to show you guys a video of the crash, okay? We're going to watch it a couple times. So give me 1 second here. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure that you guys smash that like button. Take a moment. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that bell. And also make sure that you guys take a moment and subscribe to my other channels. Okay. So let's look at this. I want you guys to check this out.
It happened with seemingly no warning. A Mercedes sped through a red light into a crowded intersection, crashing into multiple...
Did you guys see that? We'll do it again.
It happened with seemingly no warning. A Mercedes sped through a red light into a crowded intersection.
Like, it happened so fast, you can't even see it. Do it one more time.
It happened with seemingly no warning. A Mercedes sped through a red light into a crowded intersection, crashing into multiple cars in the Windsor Hills suburb near Los Angeles. Among the fiery wreckage, the California Highway Patrol says 6 people were killed, including a pregnant woman and a baby. Alfonso Word witnessed the aftermath.
It's the children, the ones that didn't get a chance. The mother that probably was happy because she was having a baby, but she's not there. She's gone.
Surveillance video shows people running through the intersection to try to help. Some victims were thrown from their cars. A child's car seat is seen left in the middle of the road. Several adults and children who survived the crash were rushed to the hospital. Deborah Jackson was nearly hit as she was about to pump gas.
All of a sudden, I heard a big explosion. But as I was trying to turn around, the flames just went over everybody. The flames went over my whole car, and they told me to jump out my car.
What caused the driver to speed into the intersection is unknown. What is known, they were going fast.
At minimum, at least 50 to 60 miles an hour and or higher.
Investigators say the driver is a 40-year-old woman, and she did survive the crash.
All right, so Ashanti, AB Promotions, says that he didn't see it. Did everybody see that? If everybody saw that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't see it, give me a thumbs down. I'll run it again real quick.
It happened with seemingly no warning. A Mercedes sped through a red light into a crowded intersection, crashing into multiple cars in the Windsor Hills suburb near Los Angeles. Among the fiery wreckage, the California Highway Patrol says 6 people were killed, including a pregnant woman and a baby. Alfonso Word witnessed the aftermath.
It's the children, the ones that didn't get a chance. The mother that probably was happy because she was having a baby, but she's not there. She's gone.
Surveillance video shows people running through the intersection to try to help. Some victims were thrown from their cars. A child's car seat is seen left in the middle of the road. Several adults and children who survived the crash were rushed to the hospital. Deborah Jackson was nearly hit as she was about to pump gas.
All of a sudden, I heard a big explosion. But as I was trying to turn around, the flames just went over everybody. The flames went over my whole car, and they told me to jump out my car.
What caused the driver to speed into the intersection is unknown. What is known, they were going fast.
At minimum, at least 50 to 60 miles an hour and or higher.
Investigators say the driver is a 40-year-old woman, and she did survive the crash.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about this 40-year-old woman, and we're going to look at some news, and we're going to see how they report on this. All right. And what I want you guys to do is, I was going to say something about the nails, but then I was like, nah, I ain't going to say nothing. I was going to say something about that. Then I was like, nah, I ain't going to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying shit like that. I ain't saying nothing. All right, so this is her. Houston nurse in LA crash that killed 5 is charged with murder. All right, so now Cameron Jones put up an interesting comment here. It says manslaughter, but not murder. Negligent vehicular homicide. I could see that. Murder. I don't think that she was setting out to kill anybody. However, she was extremely negligent and she was breaking the law. But murder is interesting. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to pay attention to the difference in the way that they talk about this woman versus how they talked about Heche. Okay? And what I want you guys to do is when you notice a difference in the reporting, type what you notice in the comment section. I need everybody to participate with that, okay? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 people watching. Shouts out and thank you to all 10 people who are watching the stream. And we got 8 likes. If everybody smashes that like button, we'll be at 18 likes. So do me a favor, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, go ahead and make sure that you hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, stop cloud watching, hit the bell, all right? Make sure that you guys are subscribed to my backup channels, and let's get it. So now here, it says the driver suspected of causing a fiery crash that killed 5 people and an 8-month-old was charged Monday with murder, all right? She was charged Monday with murder. Nicole Linton was charged with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence, according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Now, in my opinion, there should be 6 counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence and no murder. She could face 90 years to life in prison if convicted of all charges. 90 years to life in prison. What do you guys think? That's what she's facing. 90 years to life in prison. What are you guys' thoughts? Linton, a 37-year-old traveling nurse from Houston, Texas, made her first court appearance on Monday after being released from a hospital over the weekend. Linton, who appeared to be in a wheelchair, didn't enter a plea, and her arraignment was continued to October. She was ordered held without bail. Look at this. She was ordered held without bail, pending a bail hearing next week. That's interesting. I don't think that this woman has any prior criminal record because she's a nurse. You're not allowed to have a criminal record if you're a nurse. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that this woman is innocent. She's clearly not. Pay attention to the application of the law and also pay very close attention to the way that the news is reporting the story. Okay? That's important. You had to ask yourself why. Have to find other stories like this and compare them. That's what research is. So now here it says prosecutors said Linton's Mercedes-Benz was doing 90 miles per hour last Thursday when it ran a red light and smashed into cars in a crowded intersection in unincorporated Windsor Hills, about 10 miles southwest of downtown Los Angeles. Several victims were thrown from their cars and several vehicles caught fire. All right. The crash killed 23-year-old Ashery Ryan, her 11-month-old son Alonzo Quintero, and her boyfriend Reynold Lester, Shanisa Kerr said in a GoFundMe posting. Lester's family told KABC TV that the 24-year-old security guard was the father of Ryan's 8.5-month-old unborn child. The family has said Ryan was on the way to a doctor's appointment for a prenatal checkup when she was killed. One murder charge, but not an additional charge of vehicular manslaughter, was filed for the fetus, which is interesting, who was also identified by the coroner's office as Armani Lester and listed as born on the same day that he died. Now, since when do they do that? And mind you, this is happening in California, so much for the Roe versus Wade thing, benefiting black women. Shout out to my man, Kareem Yee. It looks like they're using Roe versus Wade here to attach more charges to a black woman. I want to make sure that everybody takes note of that. That's interesting. that's beyond interesting. I think there's no precedent for that. This is something new that's never been done, at least not that I've ever seen. Right, Emmanuel. Facts. Facts. Now I want to read this paragraph again. One murder charge, but not an additional charge of vehicular manslaughter, was filed for the fetus, who was identified by the coroner's office as Armani Lester and listed as both on the same day as he died. A young family was destroyed in a blink of an eye, District Attorney George Gaskin said at a news conference. So he was identified by the coroner's office and listed as born on the same day that he died. How in the hell does that work philosophically and scientifically? How does that work? You was born and died at the exact same moment. How? How is that possible? I'm going to need a biologist as well as a clergy to explain that to me. I'm dead serious. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. Do you guys understand that? What they're saying is that because of this car accident, this fetus was born and died at the exact same time. Now, mind you, this is in liberal California where this ruling is being made. So basically, what this means is that does this set a precedent for abortion limits in California? I mean, we need to ask that question. Does that make any sense? Now, here's my question. How many people watching this video have heard about this story? If you guys have heard about this story, give me a thumbs up. If you guys never heard about this story, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 9 live viewers. Shouts out and thank you to all 9 people that are watching. And we got 10 likes. If everybody can take a moment, bang on that like button, all right, and get us up to 19 likes, that would be great. We'll be 91 away from our goal. So now here it says a young family was destroyed in the blink of an eye, District Attorney George Gaskin said at a news conference. 2 other women were also killed, but their names weren't made public as of Monday. While the wreckage of this fiery crash at this intersection was removed and traffic eventually resumed, there is a catastrophic damage to the family and friends of those killed and injured, Gaskin said. It is not only a tremendous loss to the families, but our entire community who learned of this incredible tragedy or have watched the now viral video of the collision. Authorities said they haven't found any evidence that Liston was under the influence of blood alcohol, but prosecutors said she did have a history of dangerous crashes and knew the threat posed by her driving behavior, Los Angeles Times reported. Now, pay very close attention. Did they say anything like that about Ann? You see, that's the question. Did they say anything like that about Ann? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen. And that right there is why news, reviews, and reactions are necessary. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why news, reviews, and reactions are absolutely necessary. We're going to look at some other things, okay? There's an article here from the LA Times. This is it right here. What I want you guys to pay very close attention to is the way that the media talks about this woman. And what I want to ask you guys, those of you who were here for the Ann part, and if you guys weren't here for the Ann part, if you guys watched this video on the replay, when you watch the replay, make sure you comment. Do you feel that they're talking about these 2 events and these 2 individuals in an equal way? That's what I want to know. Okay. Mercedes driver, that's interesting. She's now a Mercedes driver, charged with murder in crash that killed 5 in Windsor Hill. So now let's just get this on the docket. How does everybody feel about the murder charges? How does everybody feel about the murder charges? What do you guys think? A registered nurse was charged Monday with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter in connection with a fiery crash in Windsor Hill last week that killed a pregnant woman, a baby, and 3 others, the Los Angeles County District Attorney announced. Nicole Linton, 37, is accused of reckless disregard for life in connection with Thursday's multi-vehicle crash. Prosecutors say that Los Angeles woman was behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz that was speeding as fast as 90 miles per hour when she ran a red light shortly after 1:30 p.m. and plowed into traffic at the busy intersection of LeBrie and Slauson Avenues. Okay. Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gaskin said Linton faces up to life in prison if convicted of all the charges. She faces up to life in prison. Now, that's the thing, Tia. She wasn't under the influence. They already did the drug test and is negative. However, Ann was under the influence of narcotics. They got the evidence of that from her blood test. But remember, Ann is a hero. Now, this lady is a nurse, but they haven't called her a hero yet. Did anybody notice that? I mean, this lady is a nurse. No one called her a hero yet. So how does that work? So now here it says, in an instant, Miss Linton's conduct took the lives of 6 people and injured many others, Gaskin said. To get a second-degree murder conviction, prosecutors must prove she acted with implied malice and knew the act of driving at high speed on city streets was dangerous to human life. I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, like that shouldn't be hard for them to prove. Usually such cases are brought if the driver is under the influence and has a prior DUI conviction and has taken DUI education classes. In Linton's case, investigators found she has a history of dangerous crashes and knew the threat posed by her driving behavior, prosecutors said. And they had to do that because she wasn't under the influence. So that's interesting. California Highway Patrol investigators identified 13 prior crashes involving Linton. So she has a history. 13 prior crashes. So pay very close attention. Those incidents are the foundation for the district attorney's case that she knew the dangers of reckless driving. However, Gaskin said there is no evidence of any alcohol used by Linton at any point. So there's that. Remember, Ann was using narcotics. Okay. So now here it says, I know some of you spoke to a woman that alleged they had been drinking together. The CHP is working to identify this person, but we don't have any further information, he said. So they're, instead of looking for camera footage, they're looking to identify someone for some hearsay. That is a lot of crashes, Maya. Facts. So now here it says the district attorney declined to discuss what prompted the crash, saying it was still under investigation and he was not going to get into the details. The murder charges against Linton are for the death of 23-year-old Ashley Ryan, her near 1-year-old child, Alonzo Quintero, her boyfriend, Ronald Lester, and their unborn child. Now, this is what I find extremely interesting. This is in California that this happened, and we're talking about unborn children. And what I find even more fascinating is that conservatives are quiet about this, because you would think that this is the ultimate invalidation of abortion. I mean, the baby was aborted during the car crash. I mean, I hate to sound cold, but that's what happened. So now, how do you make inroads with such a negligent political party? And that's where, in my opinion, if you guys haven't watched that video about Maz Toure and Matt Walsh, this is why there's no unity with any of these people, especially any of these political groups, because they're inconsistent. The only thing that's consistent about them is that they're consistently stupid and they consistently double talk. That's it. Other than that, they're inconsistent. You would think that conservatives around the United States would gravitate to this situation and examine it, because we're dealing with a liberal state that is now saying that, a fetus is actually a life because of some strange science that nobody ever heard of, where an unborn child is born and dies in the same moment, which I don't know how that constitutes as a birth when the baby was still inside and she didn't go into labor. So again, what we have is the making up of terms, which we all know is common practice and routine in a system of illegitimacy, which is exactly what we live in. So this is what people need to pay attention to. One of the things that people need to pay attention to is how the world can be manipulated. Terminology can be manipulated. Everything can be manipulated. As you can see here, this is being manipulated. What do you guys think? Ryan was 8.5 months pregnant when she was killed. The boy she was carrying at the time was named Armani Lester, according to the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. His date of birth and date of death fell on the same day. When was he born? Who delivered him? Where's his birth certificate and social security number? Seriously? He was born? Did the parents ever pay taxes on him? Oh, I get it. Just for this particular case. Now, my question is, where in California has a issue like this ever occurred and they've treated it as two people? And if California is doing this, then California needs to rethink its laws on abortion and what it defines as a fetus, in my opinion. What do you guys think? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says, we read this. Linton was also charged with murder for the deaths of 2 women killed in the crash who have yet to been identified. Okay, so she's also charged with murder. The 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter against her are for the deaths of the 4 adults and the baby, who was about 2 weeks shy of being 1 year old. Ryan's unborn child cannot be included in those charges. I thought they did include the unborn child in the charges. Oh, okay, wait a minute. It says, so the boy she was carrying at the time, so they just listed his date of birth and death on the same day at the coroner's office. But they're not charging the unborn child in the charges. I don't know. Now I'm getting kind of confused. I'm getting a little bit confused now. So now here it says, surveillance video just before Thursday's deadly crash shows a dark-colored Mercedes barreling down La Brea Avenue at high speed as dozens of cars cross on Slauson. The Mercedes does not appear to slow before running a red light and slamming into cars in the intersection. The car bursts into flames and hurls into a light pole where it comes to rest. After the crash, a streak of fire burned on the ground and a billowing smoke could be seen from miles away. At least 6 vehicles were involved in the crash, according to CHP investigators. In addition to the fatalities, 8 people were injured. Linden was hospitalized with moderate injuries for several days before being taken into police custody. Photographs posted online after the crash appear to show Linton sitting on a curb with a bloody arm. She seems to be wearing hospital scrub pants and a shirt that has writing on the breastplate and sleeve. Images from the scene show massive front end damage to the Mercedes, which rammed headfirst into the light pole. A law enforcement source told the Times that Linton suffered a broken foot and a broken wrist in the collision, but the car's advanced airbag system for a front-end collision seemed to have shielded her from the worst of the impact. A specialized accident investigation team is extracting data from the Mercedes computers that capture speed and braking acceleration. So pay very close attention to the technology. Look at the technology there. The car is a full forensics lab. That's a good question, Maya. I'm not sure. Pay very close attention to how the car is a full forensics lab. On Monday, Linton appeared in court sitting in a wheelchair while wearing a blue safety vest and bandage around her left arm. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Natalie Stone denied her bail, which previously had been set at $9 million at the request of the district attorney's office, which said she's a flight risk. How is she a flight risk? She got a broken foot, for one. For two, she has a nursing license, which can be easily tracked. How is she a flight risk? What do you guys think? If you guys think that she's a flight risk, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that she's a flight risk, give me a thumbs down. They're saying that she's a flight risk. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 11 live viewers and we got 13 likes. Thank you to all 11 people watching. Thank you to everybody who's liked the video already. If you guys haven't, smash that like button. Please make sure that you do and help get us to 24. Is she a flight risk, ladies and gentlemen? Linton's permanent address in Texas, and she's currently renting a room in Los Angeles as a traveling nurse. She was set to travel to Hawaii for work, prosecutor said. So, I mean, they know where all of her next destinations would be also because she's traveling. Here goes a people of color attorney. Attorney Halim Dehandina asked the court to continue Linton's arraignment to October because he is reviewing her out-of-state history of documented profound mental health issues. But at the same time, she's working with patients. And I got to agree with Tia. If she stuck around after 13 crashes, what's the likelihood that she will run? Facts. I think that it's a very low likelihood. Dehandina did not elaborate on Linton's mental health, but said the Windsor Hills crash could be linked to those factors. She should have been aware of her limitations before she got behind the wheel, the judge said in denying Linton's bail. Now that's interesting. So she should have. So if we're going to take the mental health route, then as a nurse, she should have diagnosed herself, which diagnosing is beyond the scope of practice for a nurse. So that's everybody's job then now, I guess. Everybody should self-diagnose themselves of everything. Did you guys know that? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to my man Muffet Nellen, who is a Patreon member. All right, which you guys know, Patreon is one of the things that helps me to produce the content that I produce for you guys. So make sure that you guys throw some radiation emojis in the chat for my man Muffet Nellen, who contributes to the platform via Patreon. I want you guys to pay very close attention to this. She should have been aware of her limitations before she got behind the wheel, the judge said in denying Linton's bail. Now, what does that have to do with bail denial? What bail is there for is to make sure that you show up to court. It would have made more sense if she wanted to make a smart and snarky comment. It would have made more sense to say, I don't want you getting in a car accident, killing another 6 people on the way to court. So I'm going to deny your bail. That's what I would have said. But I wouldn't tell somebody You need to do a professional's job and diagnose yourself. That's stupid. And that judge is stupid. And it makes me question her competency, just like I question this woman's competency to be a nurse. And just like I question all of these news media outlets' competency to report information. So there's that. So now here it says prosecutors said they are reviewing multiple previous crashes linked to Linton, both in and out of California, including one in 2020 that involved bodily injury in which 2 cars were totaled. Attorneys did not elaborate on the nature of Linton's involvement in those crashes. And another thing that I find fascinating is they're not elaborating on the particular kind of mental health issue that she allegedly has as well. Linton sobbed and waved to a family member before being wheeled away after the hearing. Her attorney declined to comment on the murder case. Outside the courtroom, Lester's mother, Latana Guy, and his sister, Dahlia Guy, held a poster with pictures of him over the years. There are so many questions that remain as to what happened, Latana Guy, a registered nurse in Los Angeles County, said. So all of these people, this is interesting. This woman is a nurse as well. Dahlia Guy described her brother as goofy and full of jokes. That's nice. Goofy. She recently started a job as a security guard. He was just building his family, his mother said of Lester and Ryan and their unborn child. They were looking forward to starting a family. That's sad. That's sad. But I think that they're going a little bit overboard on this woman. She faces life in jail. And I find it interesting because it seems like the court kind of already has their mind made up, which is kind of scary. Because for the judge to make a comment like that, I don't know. So now here's an article from Blavity. You know what I'm saying? And we all know about Blavity. 6 things to know about the woman charged with murder in LA's fiery crash. All right. Nicole Linton made headlines after she was charged with 6 counts of murder in connection to a fiery crash on August 4th in Los Angeles County. According to the Los Angeles Times, Linton was allegedly behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz that was going up to 90 miles an hour when it ran a red light and barreled into a busy intersection. The crash resulted in several people dying, including a pregnant woman, her young son, and her boyfriend. As the case unfolds, here are 6 things to know about Linton. All right, so these are 6 things to know about this woman, Linton. She went to Howard University. So there's that. Okay. According to her LinkedIn profile from 2003 to 2007, Linton attended Howard University, where she earned her bachelor's degree in marketing. While in school, she was a retail management summer intern at Ford Motor Company in New York and a corporate marketing intern at the National Football League Players Association in the Washington, D.C. area. So this woman was clearly intelligent, at least academically. She has a valid nursing license. Linton received her nursing license in 2010, Meow reports. Currently, there are no open complaints against her, nor are there any violations by California's Department of Consumer Affairs. Her California nursing license is also valid. So now what I find fascinating is that this part right here, where they're talking about her LinkedIn profile, I wonder why they don't have the information about where she got her nursing education from. I think she should get gross negligence and manslaughter and vehicular homicide, property damage, reckless endangerment, all of that other stuff. But I don't think that she intentionally killed anyone. Murder is when you intentionally kill someone. They're not going to be able to prove a motive for any of this. Like, because there wasn't any motive. She was just being an idiot. So now here it says she has a profound history of mental health concerns. All right. Her attorney told a judge that Linton has a profound history of mental health concerns that should have barred her from operating a vehicle, Meow reports. She was also allegedly not fit to work inside of an intensive care unit to treat critically ill patients. Now that's interesting. Why was she being allowed to, though? Now, do you see how you see all the rabbit holes here? She held multiple jobs in the past 2 years. Linton has held 6 nursing positions across 5 states over the past 2 years. I mean, if she's a traveling nurse, then that's what they do. According to Conan Daly, she worked for Houston Methodist as a surgical and liver transplant ICU nurse, and from January 2020 to October 2020, she worked as a traveling ICU nurse for RN Network. She was a travel nurse, okay? I think we established that, but okay. Linton was working at Kaiser Permanente West Los Angeles Medical Center at the time of the incident, according to Daily Mail. She was sent there by the traveling nurse company AMN Healthcare. The company refused to comment on the accident and on what background checks were completed to determine whether Linton was fit to work, according to the Daily Mail. Kaiser Permanente, however, issued a statement. Everyone at Kaiser is deeply saddened by last Thursday's horrific crash. It's impossible to imagine the pain that those involved are experiencing. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by this tragedy, the company said in a statement. Miss Nicole Linton is not employed by Kaiser Permanente, rather is a nurse employed by AMN Healthcare and contracted to work at Kaiser Permanente on a temporary basis. She was not traveling for Kaiser Permanente at the time of the accident. They want to make sure that they get their names as far away from this as possible. Yeah, there was no premeditation. You know what I'm saying? There's no motive. Muffin. They're not. I don't. Unless there's a seriously corrupt, racist judge, they're not going to be able to prove that. She should get, those homicide charges. And see, this is the difference between when the white media does, news and different things like that, versus when an honest person or honest people like us do the media. Because no one is sitting here saying she shouldn't have any punishment. What we're saying is that what's going on here is that an inappropriate punishment is being applied. But it doesn't matter, because when you're dealing with the white media and when you're dealing with the public and the population at large, you're attempting to skirt responsibility if you simply don't take what they feel that they should have you subject to. That's how it is here in the United States. That's what these people believe. That's what these people feel that their privilege is. Dictation. So now here it says she had 13 prior crashes in multiple jurisdictions. 13 prior crashes. In my opinion, I don't even know why she had a driver's license. Why did she have a driver's license with that many damn crashes? So now here it says prosecutors said in court that Linton was involved in 13 other accidents in Texas and in California. In 2013, a crash occurred after Linton stayed stationary after traffic lights turned green. One person had to be taken to the hospital after the incident. However, Linton was found not at fault for 2 of the crashes that she was involved in. So now, what do you guys think about that? As far as the mental health shit goes, I tend to believe that. I hate to say this, make a blanketed statement, stereotypical comment, you know what I'm saying? But nurses are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Nurses are freaks and nurses are crazy. And I don't know if it comes from like being in a high stress environment or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a certain kind of personality to want to deal with people and shit like that. But nurses got some issues. Most nurses, I mean, like a lot of nurses got like bad histories of abuse and ex-boyfriends, and they turn up, and you know what I'm saying, there's all kinds of crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? For one, you know what I'm saying, you guys know I work in that environment, and I've dated a couple of nurses, and I'll never do it again. You know what I'm saying? And now again, for all of the idiots out there, yes, I realize that Mrs. Linton is a black woman. Do not think that I'm making this statement specifically about black women, because I'm not. I'm making it about nurses. Doesn't matter what race of nurse you are. In most cases, you're probably some degree of nut, probably some degree of crazy, some degree of psychotic, OCD, and have a mentality of thinking that you want to fix people and doing all this crazy ass shit. And people are just crazy. And this is from experience. There's nothing factual. If you wanted me to show a study on that statement, I can't. It's just from my own personal experience. Kevin Samuel said nurses were screwed up and he died with one. Nurses are freaks. Motherfuckers can be as screwed up as they want to. People like what they like. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of what I like is not the best for me. Oh, well, you know. You know what I'm saying? Ah, well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I ate for breakfast this morning? 2 pieces of cheesecake with about a half a can of whipped cream on it. And I ate it like foreplay. You know how clogged my arteries probably are now? Then I washed it down with some coffee just to make matters worse. According to modern science, you only live once. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? So we got one more article about this that I want to check out. And it's an article from Fox. All right. So let's see what Fox News had to say about this. Having Apple to balance it out. You know what I'm going to do to balance it out? I'm going to walk to the mailbox and get my mail. Now, I do have some apple cobbler, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what? That. I think I'm actually, once I get done with this stream, when I'm preparing for my next stream, before I get started, I'm gonna make some of that apple cobbler and eat it. You know what I'm saying? So listen, when they talk about black people and how black people have disproportionate health issues, the reason why we have disproportionate health issues is a lot of because of diet. You know what I'm saying? And that's because our food tastes disproportionately better than everybody else's. Comes with risks. You know what I'm saying? You might deal with some woman, and that woman might be disproportionately more fun than other women. You guys know that comes with some risks. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just deal with it. People need to know that. So, hey, this is what it is, man. It is what it is. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Don't be complaining about some shit when it happens. I'm going to mess around and be trying to do a stream for y'all after I done had a stroke. What happened? All that damn cheesecake for breakfast. Okay, well, I don't have anybody to blame for that except for myself. And I'm not blaming anybody because as far as I'm concerned, that cheesecake is worth it because once you in the ground, you in the ground. So now here it says Texas nurse facing murder charges for fiery Los Angeles crash was reportedly volatile after breakups. That's what they said. What in the hell does that have to do with anything? We'll see. Let's see. Sometimes Fox headlines.
So fat. Brendan, you're not fat.
Sometimes Fox headlines be kind of weird. Motherfucker just slapped this dude on this commercial. What the hell? Hold on. Okay, yeah, we're doing this. You're talking about the Trump drama. All right, anyway. Nicole Linton's attorney said in court that his client has a history of documented profound mental health issues. She's reportedly volatile after breakups. Now, this is the defense that she's using. The attorney said this. I want to know what you guys think about it. Of course it is. For being the least powerful people in the world, we sure as hell are responsible for a lot. It's interesting how that works. A black man is probably responsible for every single car crash that she's ever been in, because you all know that at the Mercedes factory, there was some lazy Tyrone that didn't put something together correctly in the car, and it was his fault that all this happened. You know what I'm saying? So now here, and not to mention this woman was probably exhausted from BLM protests and shit like that. The traveling nurse who is facing murder charges for allegedly plowing through a Los Angeles intersection at 90 miles an hour last week reportedly had a history of acting erratically and threatening suicide attempts after breakups. Uh-oh, Richard. How many women have done that? I bet you she's not the first. How many women do you guys think have done that? Oh my God, I can't live without you. Yeah, you can. You was doing it before. You was looking for a man when you found me. What the hell are you talking about? So now here it says prosecutors said that 37-year-old Nicole Linton had been in 13 wrecks, including one in 2020 that caused bodily injury before she allegedly sped through a red light on August 4th in the Windsor Hill neighborhood, igniting a fiery wreck and killing 6 people. Linton is now facing 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence. Her attorney requested her arraignment on Monday be continued and said that Linton has documented profound mental health issues, according to the Los Angeles Times. Now, here's my question. Do you all think that that's going to help the outcome of her trial? If you guys think that that's going to help the outcome of her trial, give me a thumbs up. I agree, Muffet. She's going away for a long time. She's going to need a nurse when she gets out. It's crazy and sad to mess up your life like that and to mess up other people's lives like that. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to all 14 people that are watching, and thank you to all 14 people that are watching. If you guys have not smashed the like button, please take a moment. Make sure that you guys smash that like button. Also, if you haven't shared the video out, please make sure that you guys share the video out. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit the bell icon twice, okay? So now here it says Linton was previously romantically involved, with Jermaine Mason, an Olympic medal-winning track and field athlete from Jamaica who died in a motorcycle crash in 2017, the Daily Mail reports. Nicole was different after that. She really loved that guy. She said they'd spoken about marriage. I don't think she ever got over that, a friend told the news outlet. So there it is, right there. It was his fault from the grave. Yeah, she was an ICU nurse that wasn't supposed to be an ICU nurse. She's from Texas, but she worked for a travel agency, and where she was working at currently was Kaiser Permanente in California. So now here it says Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gaskin said Monday that investigators are still looking into the crash, but as of now, there was no evidence of drugs or alcohol in Linton's system. And, you know, we all know that the dominant society is extremely upset about that. You know what I'm saying? The wreck killed 23-year-old Ashery Ryan, who was 8.5 months pregnant and on her way to a prenatal checkup. Ryan's 11-month-old son and her boyfriend were also killed. All right, so this is the wreckage, man. This is look at this. I mean, this is just looks like a junkyard. How badly she destroyed these cars. Look at that. So now here it says 2 other women who have not been identified were also killed at the crash. Linton reportedly worked at strip clubs in New York City before becoming a nurse, with a friend describing her as volatile after breakups. I didn't know that. That's new and interesting that they would report. Now, I find it interesting that Fox got this information about her working at strip clubs, but LA Times didn't mention this at all. But a lot of people, before they become nurses, work in strip clubs. And a lot of people, period. Women, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are strippers throughout nursing school. You know what I'm saying? To pay for nursing school. You know what I'm saying? That shit happens. So I don't know if that, maybe that might have some type of correlation to why a lot of nurses are so crazy and ratchet, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But that does happen though, because I personally know a couple. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's not me. I'm not shaming anybody. I don't think that I'm like, oh, whatever. That's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, that's just some shit that I've observed. And that's the biggest question right there, Cameron. What does stripping have to do with it? Just to try to add more, shame, just to try to add more negative light to the whole situation. I don't think that she wouldn't be allowed to be a nurse if that was the case. You got to have a clean record to be a nurse. Like, you can't have any felonies or like any violent crimes or any abuse type crimes. Like, if you're already a criminal, you're not going to get pushed into being a nurse as a profession. That's not going to happen. And to be honest, like, most places aren't going to hire you. You know what I mean? That's not one of those kind of jobs. Like, you'll get pushed into a job at Amazon. You ain't about to get pushed into no job as a nurse. No, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, when I saw what had happened in LA, the first thing that went through my mind was that she had argued with her boyfriend and was drunk trying to commit suicide. A source close to Linton told the Daily Mail. So now who said this? Because earlier they just said that she was probably in that condition because she hadn't recovered from her boyfriend that passed away, who was the Olympic runner. And when they say this shady kind of stuff and they say a source said, they need to start disclosing these people who they are, because you can't just say a source if we don't know who that source is. As far as I'm concerned, that's hearsay. It's not a source until you identify the source. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 14 live viewers. Shouts out to all 14 live viewers, and we got 16 likes. If everybody takes a moment and smashes that like button, we will have 30 likes. So please make sure that you guys help your boy out. Smash that like button so we can get to that 30 likes. If you're not subscribed to the channel, don't miss another episode. Make sure that you hit that bell. Linton reportedly worked as a traveling nurse in Texas for years, but had most recently been at Kaiser Permanente in West Los Angeles Medical Center in California. She was hospitalized at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center over the weekend and was being held on $2 million bail, but that was increased to $9 million when she was released from the hospital. And now there's no bail. You know what I'm saying? Now there's no bail. This is a case that will always be remembered for the senseless loss of so many innocent lives as they simply went about their daily routines, Gaskin said in a statement. Linton's attorney declined to comment on Thursday. Okay. So very different handling of news stories regarding 2 women who got into car accidents. Okay. Very interesting. So now we got 2 other stories. Okay. Now we got 2 other stories. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's a situation, and this is an old story. It's from July 28th. Something that I had that I never was able to do a live stream on, but now we can. A Vacaville oral surgeon was charged in connection to 4 incidents of alleged sexual assault. Why? Why are we doing this?
New tonight at 11, a Vacaville doctor facing misdemeanor charges, accused by at least 4 people of sexual abuse.
KCRA3 investigates has learned the oral surgeon has a history of complaints against him, and he's still licensed to practice here in California despite efforts by the dental board to restrict his license.
How does that work? I mean, seriously. Can anybody in the comment section tell me how this works? Why is this even a news story? Like, why is this even happening? See, so to me, what it seems like is, it seems like there's not a real efficient system or not a real efficient technique to properly screen a lot of these people who get into healthcare positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got this dentist. Or this doctor here. He's accused of sexual abuse, and they can't even get rid of him. Make it make sense. Listen to this again.
We want to move on to something else new tonight at 11, a Vacaville doctor facing misdemeanor charges, accused by at least 4 people of sexual abuse.
KCRA3 investigates has learned the oral surgeon has a history of complaints against him, and he's still licensed to practice here in California despite efforts by the dental board to restrict his license. KCRA3's Melanie Wingo spoke to 2 women who say the doctor abused them. She joins us now with their stories. Melanie?
Well, we've been looking into these allegations for several weeks now. The women we spoke with say they're coming forward, hoping to empower anyone else who might have been abused to also share their stories. As you'll see, these alleged victims asked us to conceal their identities, and we do want to warn you, the details of this story are quite graphic.
He was molesting me while he was cutting this bridge off.
I felt stuck in that chair. I felt glued to that chair, like fear.
2 female patients detailing what they say happened during routine dental procedures.
Sounded by Dr. Webb.
Saying Vacaville oral surgeon Dr. David Webb sexually abused them at his office, Northern California Facial and Oral Surgery. One woman says Webb initially harassed her during her appointment with sexually explicit conversation.
He had me in his office for an hour talking over and over about his sex life and questioning mine.
The woman telling KCRA3 it started with the doctor prying for intimate details and oversharing unwelcome information about his own life.
I felt like I wasn't even there, like I was trapped.
She says Webb also touched her in a sexual way as he checked her heart with a stethoscope.
I remember saying, there's no way I can be the only person that he did this to. It's not possible.
For a second patient, the inappropriate touching started, she says, right when her procedure began.
He injected that needle, and I was just holding on for dear life, and he started rubbing his penis up against my arm.
Saying at first she tried not to overreact at the fully clothed doctor's body coming in contact with hers.
Doctors, sometimes they do have to press up against you to do a procedure. And when he started pressing up against me heavily, then I knew something was wrong.
As she held onto the chair, bracing for pain associated with the dental work, she says the doctor's actions escalated.
He's rubbing up against me, not just pressing, but he's going in sexual motion.
The alleged victim saying she even tried holding her breath so she wouldn't fall asleep under the nitrous oxide.
I was afraid of what was going to happen if I fell completely asleep.
I think that Dr. Webb should be prosecuted and that he should suffer the consequences.
Attorney Mary Alexander.
Now, what do you guys think about this? Have you guys heard about this case? If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't hear about this, give me a thumbs down. My question is, how do you have a history like this and you're still allowed to practice? How does that make any sense? Better question, does it make any sense? My man Kareem says complexion connection. I gotta agree. If you guys agree with Kareem, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Kareem, give me a thumbs down.
Now representing both women.
It is very meaningful for people to be able to hold the wrongdoer accountable in a civil case.
She says she's filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of one of the women and plans to file on behalf of the other as well. She's also advocating for the criminal case against Dr. Webb to move forward.
It can help you heal, it can help you move forward, and give you a sense of justice.
Both victims sharing how they say the doctor hurt them.
I'm over 50 years old. My hair is gray. I'm a tired old mom. I'm not a 20-year-old, young, thin, sexy girl. He doesn't discriminate.
The women saying they hope sharing their stories helps prevent others from being victimized.
I don't ever want to feel paralyzed like that again.
KCRA 3 Investigates also found 2 misdemeanor counts against Dr. Webb from last year. Court documents alleging in both incidents, Webb willfully and unlawfully touched 2 separate victims against their will for the purpose of sexual gratification, sexual arousal, and sexual abuse. And Dr. Webb pleaded not guilty to both those counts tied to the 2021 alleged incidents. We've also learned the California Dental Board requested license restrictions against Webb with the 2021 cases pending. But the state says the Solano County Court denied that request. Now, we did reach out to Dr. Webb's attorney for comment on this story. His attorney says the doctor will plead not guilty to the most recent misdemeanor charges and denying all allegations. The attorney says Webb will vigorously defend himself.
All right, so there's that. Insanity, right? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, immediately after this live stream ends on Just Talking with TD and Robb, TD will be premiering some clips from our most recent live stream. So if you guys are not subscribed to TD and Robb, to Just Talking with TD and Robb, make sure that you guys
Phillips was arrested by
make
Nashville.
sure that you guys go over there and subscribe to that channel, all right, so that you guys don't miss those clips. And now, right, this is the last thing we're going to talk about here, but here we got another therapist who practiced in Nausea charged with sexually assaulting an underage patient. This right here is an article from July 28th.
Police
of
Wednesday
2022.
charged with one.
A therapist. You're there for therapy. So let's check this out and see exactly what's going on here.
56-year-old Mark Phillips was arrested by Nashua police Wednesday, charged with one count of pattern aggravated felonious sexual assault, a charge that could land him in prison for 15 years if convicted.
During the course of the investigation, it was learned that Mark Phillips had begun inappropriate gestures with the juvenile and slowly progressed in inappropriate touching and eventually sexual assaults, which occurred over a prolonged period of time.
Phillips was a licensed social worker at the New England Center for Comprehensive Counseling in Nashua. Nashua police first received a tip from a concerned parent in October of 2021. 10 days later, the state suspended Phillips' license to practice while he denied any wrongdoing. After months of investigating, detectives concluded that Phillips had sexually assaulted the child on several occasions.
It was something that happened over a prolonged time period.
Court documents show that Phillips even had the child over to his house and hooks it for extra sessions that sometimes lasted as long as 6 hours. Nashua police say Phillips threatened the child to make them comply with his advances.
We're always concerned by these types of reports. Anything involving children we take very seriously, and we want to hold offenders accountable.
Phillips was released on personal recognizance bail and is due back in court next month. And we're told Phillips hasn't practiced since October. News 9 did reach out to his former employer for a comment, but we have not heard back just yet. Live in Nashua tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
All right, so there's that. Okay. There's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Just Talking with TD clips. Just Talking with TD and Robb clips should be live. So make sure that you guys go over there and check those out. And I will be back later on with some more live streams. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Make sure you share the videos out and subscribe to all the backup channels. And I will catch you all on the next video. All right. Peace.